So, today I'm going to be talking about the movie The Goldfinch, which came out a while ago, but I only recently got to watch it, like a week ago maybe, and since then I've watched it a few more times, trying to get my head wrapped around it and trying to, like, set my opinions about it, and I have some very strong opinions. So, currently right now, it has like a 24% out of 100 on Rotten Tomatoes, which I'll get into that in a second. But just to get this out there, I really like the movie. I am a fan of the book. It's probably one of my favorites. I read that recently. I read that before I watched the movie, so yeah. But I really love the book. So, and when I saw that review, I was really scared. Like, this is one of my favorite books. Are they gonna turn it into a bad adaptation? And I do not think it was a bad adaptation of the book at all. There's better adaptations of books. You can say that, yeah, like the Harry Potter movies are great adaptations to the books. But I would not compare this to like the Percy Jackson movies or anything that are completely trash compared to the books. I would say it's a good, faithful. It doesn't like destroy any of the changes or anything. You know, it stays faithful to the actual book. But in case I look down throughout this, it's because I have my iPad pulled up with all of my notes, and there's a lot. So I have a lot to talk about. This might be a bit long, but I just want to say, I first heard about this book, this movie, this anything, when the first trailer for this got released, because I saw it and saw a post about it. I was like, oh, this looks interesting, let me like read about it. So I saw it was a book first, so I decided I'm going to read the book before I watch the movie. But when I saw that, I was reading a different book, so I waited until I was done, which then I didn't finish The Goldfinch until it was out of theaters, so I had to wait for the digital release, which is a little bit after when I watched it. I want to talk about the complaints that I see are getting, like, most common when I'm looking at reviews and stuff. The most common complaint that I find, that I see when I'm reading through, like, the critic reviews and stuff, is that it's too long, which, like, for any normal sized movie, I can understand that. But I think what the critics fail to realize is that The Goldfinch is based off of a book which is 784 pages. I have my book. Okay, just for reference, that's clean. It's pot clothes that I need to donate, but I realize you can see that behind me. Yeah, it's a 784 page book. So it's a big one, you know? You can't fit 784 pages worth of content into an hour. It's gonna be longer. And with those 784 pages, it is so packed with detail, like each page has so much in it, you know? So there's definitely no way it could be under an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know? I'm gonna talk about things that I really liked about it. Sorry, I went on a little tangent. One thing that I see people not talking about enough is the cinematography in this movie, which is absolutely beautiful. It is just so pretty, and I don't know. Roger Deakins, who is the cinematographer, is a genius. He makes the most, like, domestic and, like, boring scenes look entertaining and pretty and beautiful. Oh, I just love it. It's amazing. I mean, if you're, like, on the verge of trying to decide if you want to watch it, just watch it strictly for how pretty it is, because it's stunning. Another thing that I see people not talking about enough is how amazing the cast was. You can say that some people are better than others, and I agree with you completely, but they were, almost all of them had such amazing performances. The people that stick out to me are Svegley, who played younger Theo. He absolutely nailed it. Like, for every second, he made me believe that he was Theo, and I hope this is just the beginning of his career, because he was absolutely amazing. Another person that I think was amazing, and honestly I haven't heard, like, anybody talk about him, was Anaran Bernard, and I apologize if I said his name wrong. It's a Welsh name, and I don't know how to say it. I've tried to watch things how to say it. He played older Boris, which was so good. He just made me love Boris's character so much more than what I already did, and I absolutely love him. that was kind of an off-topic tangent back onto critics and stuff. So why I think the book got bad reviews was mainly because I feel like the critics don't really know the source material that well. Because a lot of the things that the people are saying about it make sense if you've looked at the book or, you've glanced through it, at least. Like I said before, it's too long. The book is long. It's a long book. I saw a lot of people complaining that there was too much drugs in it, which also, it's rated R, it's in the warning, you know what you're coming for. And also, in the book, there's so much more. They left out a lot. Oh, what I see a lot of people talking about is Boris's accent, specifically Finn Wolfhard's portrayal of it, saying that it sounds like fake and not real, not like a real Russian accent. But he said he's from the Ukraine, yes. But he also, they say it in the movie even, that he's traveled all of his life, So his accent has to be a mix of everything, Ukrainian, Polish, just a mix of a lot of things. So of course it doesn't sound exactly like a full person who's lived in Ukraine for their entire life. Oh, this one. Okay. So I saw, and I was watching a bunch of reviews that people left for this, just to see what their thoughts to see what their thoughts were on it, and just so I could try and gather my thoughts a little bit. I saw people talking about the flow of the movie and how it kind of confused them. And by that I mean how instead of just being all of the scenes from when they were younger, so in Nevada and New York, and then directly all of those in the beginning and then directly after them in New York, which I can understand how they're kind of confused by that, and it took me a while to try and this is just my opinion of how I understand why they did it the way they did, which is just mixes of each. So you can tell the story's being told by older Theo. He narrates it all, he's explaining stuff. So that would be Ansel Elgort's Theo. And in his life, he very obviously struggles with addiction and PTSD from very dramatic things that have happened in his life. So my portrayal of it is that is his, how we see it, how it just cuts of his younger self and then back to his normal self, is his mind. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's his, I'm going to read my notes because I write better than I talk. Okay, so how this is what I wrote. So how I take it is that's Theo's brain. When there's a random flashback, that's Theo's drug haze of a brain going back to the moments in Nevada and New York. And he also is very clearly still messed up about the bombing as any sane person would be, so that it can account for his flashbacks. So what I was saying is how it's just kind of what we're watching is how his brain is. That didn't make sense, but you kind of get what I'm, so it's him, and we're watching his story, his current story, but in his life, he remembers things from his past, so when he remembers it, we see it, is how I took it, which, obviously, I'm not saying that's the right way. I don't know if, the director has said anything about it, but that's just my take on it. So now I'm going to talk about things that I didn't like as much about the movie. And like I said, I really, really liked it, and there's not a lot that I think wasn't good. Sorry. One of those things would be really the whole third act I felt was kind of rushed, which I thought that about the book too. So it's not it just changed from its source material or anything. But that was one of my complaints about the book, was I felt the whole end scene was kind of clumped together, it felt like. And I mean, I think they stayed to that in the movie. I feel it's almost even better in the movie, the whole third act, and they made it seem more cohesive than they did in the book, which that's just my opinion. So it's not set in stone about what I think. But yeah. Another thing that I'm not going to say I didn't like it, but I felt could have been done better, was Boris and Theo's relationship. Now, you can argue all you want, they were just friends, they had something going there. I know what I believe, and you can believe what you believe. Just for the record, I do believe that there was something there. It makes sense to me. But even just their friendship, it left kind of Like, it didn't feel as put together as it did in the book, which I can understand that, there's a lot of detail in that, and it's hard to put that much detail into what little space they put for, like, the Nevada section, so, make what you can of that. And I like what they did with the whole Nevada section, like, with their friendship and stuff. But I feel like there was more that they could have done just to, like, really show that they were, like, their only friends, and that's all they had for a long time. So, yeah, take that as you will. I can't really think of anything else to say about it. So, those are my thoughts on the Goldfinch. Tell me what you think, if you thought I was wrong, because I just want to know other opinions. I like learning stuff like that. So,